where I have the opportunity to share with you some information about Regensburg as a destination for German language studies, and Horizonte, which is our school. So before I start telling you about Regensburg, has anybody of you been to Regensburg? Maybe, no. Okay, so first of all, you're all invited. You're more than welcome to come visit whenever you're nearby, maybe in Munich, which is just 1 hour and 15 minutes from Regensburg. Just let me know and I'll be happy to show you the school and the city. But so far, I'll try to give you an impression of the city via this presentation. And I'd also like to thank Rosie and the IALC team for giving us the opportunity to showcase smaller cities, because we all know Berlin, we all know Munich, but there's also more to discover. So Regensburg currently looks a bit like this. We've had the first snowfall of the season a few days ago. Christmas markets are open and the streets are full of lights and decorations. So it's a very Christmassy vibe. It's really beautiful, but it's also beautiful during the other seasons. So Regensburg is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is due to the well-preserved historic city center with many ancient buildings that date back to medieval times. So the city was quite lucky not to get destroyed during World War. So you can discover a lot of Roman remains, for example, the old stone bridge over the Danube River, or the iconic cathedral, and many, many ancient buildings all over the city. Also, the city has the ideal size. So for me, at least, compared to bigger cities, we have around 160,000 inhabitants. The city itself is very walkable. So at least if you are in the city center, you can get anywhere you want by foot, which is a big advantage because you don't need public transport. For a student, that means less costs. And also compared to the bigger cities, smaller cities like Regensburg have a more authentic vibe, because of course bigger cities like Berlin or Munich, Cologne, they are very international. They have this character of big cities. But Regensburg, it's more authentic, the more authentic German Bavarian lifestyle. The atmosphere in the city is very vibrant. It's a very lively atmosphere. This is also thanks to the university. So we have 2 universities. So there's a lot of young people from all over Germany, but also internationals that make it, a very dynamic, vibrant place. And also it's very rich in cultural events. So we have several festivals, several different types of cultural events throughout the year. So it doesn't get boring. So although it's a rather small city, it's not boring at all. So you always have something to do. There's always something to explore. That said, it's also in general a quite economic destination compared to the bigger cities, not only because of the fact that you don't need public transport, but in general, the cost of living is rather low compared to the bigger cities. And it is very clean. We have a lot of parks. We have the river, which especially in summer is quite nice. And it's a safe place. Also, another advantage is that it's close to Munich, it's close to Nuremberg, to other cities like Prague. It's just 3 hours away by direct train. You can go to Berlin, you can go to the Alps. So it's a great gateway to get around and visit other places. And also it's easy to reach. So most of our students come by plane. They fly to Munich, and from there they have a direct train to Regensburg or a shuttle service, which only takes 1 hour and 15 minutes and leaves you at the doorstep or at the train station. So far, so good. Now, how do I, here. Yeah, so now I told you a little bit, and I'd like to share some pictures in order for you to get a better impression. So here you can see some pictures. The one in the background is actually taken right outside of the school. So this is a very characteristic street, a very characteristic alley with the cobbled street, lots of bikes, old houses, restaurants, and the cathedral in the back. And on the bottom right, you can see one of the Christmas markets that's actually only 3 minutes walking from school. And some other images right here, you can see how people gather along the riverside in summer and just sit there, drink beer, have some pizza, listen to music, and so on. Okay, so our accommodation options are option 1, our on-site residence, and option 2, homestay. Actually, our on-site residence is honestly the most popular one because of its, mostly because it's just very convenient for students. It's right next to the school. It's in the same building, and both the school and the residence are therefore in the city center. So students enjoy their independence and their privacy while being right in the center, while being close to school, and while being surrounded by other students. So while they have their privacy, they are not lonely because they share common spaces with other students, which is quite nice. We have single and twin rooms with private bathroom and shared kitchen, and also small shared apartments and a studio apartment available. Of course, we also have homestay for people who would like to live with German families for the full German experience. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, there are some pictures of the residence accommodation. So in the middle here in the background image, you can see the school and residence building, but don't worry, it's not the whole building. We're a small school. So we only occupy part of the building. So here in this greenish part is where the school is. So we have 8 classrooms right here and the offices and the reception. And right here in the yellow part is where the rooms are. So students really live right next door, don't even have to go out. They don't even have to leave the building to go to school. They can just go down the hallway and the buildings are connected. So the rooms are fully equipped. Every room has a fridge and a kettle. Here you can see the common area where they can have meals together, do homework together. We have the shared kitchen, also fully equipped. That's the view from some of the rooms. And as you can see, the location is very centric. And there are restaurants, there are bakeries, cafés, supermarkets right next door, basically. So within 5 to 10 minutes, they have several supermarkets, restaurants, kebabs, whatever they need. And yeah, so it's quite easy to move around. Regarding the school, as I said, we have 8 classrooms, so we're a quite small school with a maximum capacity of 80 students. Our students enjoy the personal atmosphere at our school. Also, we have small international groups with a maximum of 12 students per group. We offer all levels year-round. And you obviously work with IALC schools, so I don't have to tell you about the quality of all our member schools. So, of course, you're aware of the high quality of our teaching, but I'd still like to point out that we are very proud of our extraordinarily high quality of tuition, because we mostly work with permanently employed teachers that have been with us for several years, some of them for more than 10 or even 30 years. And as a non-profit organization, we always reinvest in quality. So you and your clients can be sure that all the money we receive from course fees, we reinvest in our quality. And of course, the teaching methods we use are very effective. They're communication-oriented and state-of-the-art teaching methods. We also are lucky and proud to have a great nationality mix. So right here you can see the nationality mix. Something that might stand out is that we have quite a lot of Czech students. That's because of the proximity to the border. We also have quite a lot of Japanese students, but the rest is very mixed, and there's not really one nationality that stands out or that makes up the majority of our students. In the background here, you can see the hallway, some of the school premises. And actually, right here is where the residence starts. So you can see that it's connected. Our courses consist in the standard course program, which is the most basic one, consisting of 20 lessons per week. We have a more intensive option with 24 lessons per week. These are group lessons. Then we also have the option to combine individual lessons with the group lessons. We offer teacher training courses. This is especially interesting for European agencies and students. So they can get Erasmus Plus funding. We offer courses for all types of business German, medical German, and exam preparation. So we're an examination center for TELC and test stuff. So your students, your clients can combine their course with an official exam in the end. And we regularly run exams on levels B1, B2, and C1. And also C1, C1 Hochschule, which is for university admission. So for people who'd like to study at the university in Germany, which is quite popular due to low costs, that's a great option. Then, of course, we offer a wide range of extracurricular activities, such as our weekly Stammtisch, which is a social gathering in a local pub or restaurant. We do guided city tours, visits to local businesses like local breweries, for example. We go to museums, workshops, half and full day excursions to neighboring cities. So students will live a very vivid experience of German culture and language. Our student profiles are very diverse, not only in terms of nationality, but also in terms of their age. So we do get students of all ages. I think our oldest student was 85, and the minimum age is 17. So there is no limit for seniors, for example. The average age is 26. In summer, it would be a bit lower. And profiles are very diverse as well. So high school students that come in their school holidays to brush up their German, university students or future university students who would like to study in Germany, all kinds of professionals, expats as well who come here, or one part comes here for work and the spouse comes and joins our German language course, retirees, international teachers, or a lot of people just come for fun. Even though German is hard, they have fun learning it. And the average duration of our courses is 12 weeks. The minimum duration is 1 week. And there's no maximum duration. The enrollment process, I think, is quite self-explanatory. So you send us the inquiry, and once the confirmation, the enrollment is confirmed, you'll receive all of the documents for the student. We'll welcome the student either on Sunday or Monday, depending on if they book accommodation or not. Before that, the online placement test. We'll ask the student to do the online placement test at least 2 weeks before. You'll receive information about the travel options by train or airport liner, or some people also come by car. Then you receive some parking options from us, and then we do the oral placement test on arrival. And after their stay, or at the end of their stay, they'll receive the certificate. If your client wants to do an exam during their stay or at the end of their stay, please let us know so we can schedule the exam accordingly. And before I give you the opportunity to ask some questions, if you have some, I'd like to summarize some of the highlights. So Regensburg is a historic, safe, and very charming city. Big advantages are the central location of the school and the residence, which is actually one of our main selling points because of the convenience of being right next to school and having independent accommodation. We're a small school with big advantages. So students appreciate the welcoming atmosphere, the personal interaction with every student, and the extraordinary teaching quality. Also the proximity to cities like Munich, Nuremberg, Prague, also the Alps, the Bavarian forest, Neuschwanstein Castle, Bamberg. There's really a lot of places you can easily get to from Regensburg. And also the variety of cultural events throughout the year. So students can go to Munich for the Oktoberfest, for example, but we also have our own smaller version of the Oktoberfest, which is called Regensburger Duld. It's smaller, but it takes place twice a year. So it's in May and in September for 2 weeks. And also we have the Christmas markets in November, December, and many, many festivals, events throughout the year, from autonomous cinemas, theaters, music festivals, all different kinds. And of course, as I said, the authenticity of a rather small city, which makes the immersion, the cultural immersion and the language immersion more intense. And it's overall a great value for money in general, not only the school and accommodation, but also the cost of living in Regensburg. That's it from my side. Please feel free to ask some questions if you have some.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. As you don't have I mean, it's 80 students maximum and you guarantee every level. Does it happen sometimes that there's just very small number of students in one level?
It does happen in the lower seasons, but it mostly happens only for 1 or 2 weeks because students can start every week. So basically, there's the most probable thing is that someone is going to join, so it's going to be a full class again. In very rare cases, it can be longer than a few weeks that a class is reduced.
But
And then we'll reduce the number of lessons per week. So we never cancel a course.
Yep.
Yeah, so the number of lessons can be reduced with less than 5 students.
Okay, I see, understand it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Also, what some agencies find interesting or questions we get a lot is if we accept minors in our accommodation. We do that, preferably in host families, 17-year-olds. If the parents insist, they can also stay in the residence, but parents would have to sign a form that confirms that the school is not responsible and the students are responsible for themselves, and they have to be reasonable young people. Any more questions?
I do have one. It's more
Yeah.
for the side activities. We always have families and people asking also if there is a side program. Do you have more detail on what is offered? Do you do a monthly program or do you just put it on the dashboard week by week for people to sign up?
We put it on a dashboard monthly.
Okay.
So there's always 1 month planned ahead, and people can inscribe themselves weekly.
Okay.
And there are some activities that we do weekly, like the social gathering. Then there's others that are every 2 weeks, and others that obviously it repeats itself, but not every week, not every month. So it stays interesting also for people who stay longer.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. If there are no more questions, then I'd like to thank you for your time, for joining us during this webinar today. And I repeat my invitation from the beginning. So all of you are more than welcome to come visit. Let me know and I'll show you the school. I'll show you our accommodation and the city of Regensburg whenever you're nearby.
Thank you so much, Leah, and thank you all for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.